back.
It's us and the dogs.
We have a dog party.
We're having a dog party. Because we're sitting on this slightly bigger chunk of couch thing.
It's more of an overcast day. You know, this is still pretty bright back here.
Blah, blah, blah. But the dogs went, ooh, room for us. And
this will last 5
now
minutes.
They're going to clean each other's ears and such.
Yeah, this will last 5 minutes. They're going to jump down.
Yeah.
They'll get bored and leave.
Either that or they'll start sleeping and snoring, and it'll be really kind of weird. Anyways, we finally got one of our videos uploaded today because Janess rocked.
She helped me.
I sorted it.
It's not that, I am pretty tech savvy, but I also procrastinate.
We queens of procrastination.
And it just seems like such a big thing, such a big job. You just go, oh, I don't have time to do that right now. There's so many fields you have to fill in. It takes time to upload it, blah, 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 blah. And then you get down to it, and it takes like 15 minutes.
I'm going to move my microphone so people don't hear the dogs licking each other's ears. Sorry, that kind of freaked me out when I realized.
Should we start out with our t-shirts today?
We should indeed. I am wearing my Golden Girls. I don't think you can see that very well.
Sure.
Yeah. And it says Stay Golden. Love this shirt. Only had it since last month, and I've already probably worn it. Or no, since June, sorry. But I've probably already worn it like 5 times.
I have... I almost dumped my wine. That's... Okay, this is...
Ugly.
Guess what? With the arrow to
chicken's butt.
Guess what? Chicken butt. Okay.
Which amuses us, because...
Now I have to set this back here because
we're
I
awesome.
got my wine.
But anyways, we have a topic today.
Yeah, are we going by our little list? We actually made a list because
We
we can be like very squirrel.
Yeah. We can be like, wait, did you hear that leaf rustle? Oh wait, that's the dogs that do that. Anyways, so we had our list prepared of our 5 things that don't suck for the day, and we are going to discuss the fascinating topic of cults today.
We have both been very interested in like the psychology behind cults and kind of like even the anthropology of different cults.
Yes.
And we're both documentary junkies.
Huge.
And so this is something that we have both watched a lot of documentaries about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I personally find it really interesting because I can't even go to regular churches without often being asked not to return because I tend to ask questions that make them uncomfortable or stop playing with my hair, or they just don't have answers I accept, or in one particular case I may have compared them to Nazi Germany and they didn't appreciate that. But hey, you throw a book burning party with all the kids in the church and I'm gonna call them as I see them. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm pretty fascinated with cults because if I can't even accept like
Organized religion.
Normal organized religion without being like, oh, excuse me, I got a question. I'm pretty sure cults and I would not get along.
Yeah. I feel like I would be like never the one that would fall into a cult and get stuck there.
That's
I
what
don't
all
know.
the people say though. All the people that get sucked in are like, I'm too smart, I'd never do that. And a lot of them, from what I've learned through many viewings, the people that get brought into the cults later in life, not those that are raised in them, a lot of them, it doesn't start out by telling you the crazy bits.
Mm-hmm.
It draws you in by telling you,
oh, the love.
well, you can help, how you can help other people. They basically figure out what they need to tell you to suck you in. Yeah, hook, line, and sinker. Like Scientology will use, oh, we will help you, make the best of your life.
Issues,
yeah, and
be a better you.
And Jim Jones started with the whole, we're going to make an equal society where we help everyone and no one's better than anyone else, regardless of color or age, anything like that. So it doesn't start out with the crazy bits. It's kind of waits until you're pretty far in there. You're talking like it might be starting to slosh over the hip waders. Then it just dumps it in there. You know, it's like, hey, by the way, if you like in Scientology, we're all aliens or whatever. It's kind of hard to explain, but Leah Remini,
okay,
she's the
Hulu,
one.
Leah Remini, you got to check this out on Hulu, where she talks about her. I have a spider right here. Okay, we'll go to that later. It's a teeny tiny little spider.
Oh, okay. Not like the big
And
one
he
earlier.
kept on like going up and down. Okay.
I'm sure it's a spider. I think it's a neck. Anyways.
Okay, Inko. Hulu, Leah Remini, she talks about her very public leaving.
I hooked you into that show.
You did. You told me about
I told her about that show because I was
like, remember like
loving.
Tom Cruise? He's like still a Scientologist, and he was trash talking Brooke Shields for taking her antidepressants, and I was like, you're a douche.
They're all in Scientology. Any kind of mental health, especially mental health medication of any sort, is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a lie, blah, 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 blah. You don't really need antidepressants. You don't really need Ritalin, which, by the way, they have never met Isaiah when he was, 5?
Yes.
And he would literally
kindergarten
vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, he would do this, and his whole body would vibrate because he had so much energy.
It freaked me out the first time he did it. I was like, honey, baby, let's go put in a movie. Stop doing that. And he goes, Mom, I can't. And he was shaking his head and going.
Yeah, and so by the time I met him, he was kind of old school, but So, anyways, they're against all sorts of things. But my personal favorite cult thing to delve into is the cult of the FLDS and polygamy. Polygamy.
We should probably say outright that we are not disrespecting members of the LDS
FLDS.
Church. Oh, okay, FLDS.
Fundamentalist Latter-day Saints. LDS is Mormons, which that's another whole can of worms.
Okay, so that's even, doesn't matter, it's another religion. Okay, we respect that you have your beliefs and we're
do.
Trash talk them.
But we're kind of gonna.
We're kind of little.
I'm gonna openly because, dude, you married to more than one chick and
get polygamy.
No, because okay, so here's the FLDS thing as I understand it. Okay, so women are raised, girls are raised that the best thing they can hope for to achieve in life ever is to be a wife, a plural wife, and a mother of a bazillion little kids, because
no thanks.
Men. Oh, and they have to be subservient to men. They have to keep sweet. That's their actual terminology is keep sweet. Right. All the nope.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically any negativity or jealousy or anything like that they feel towards plural wives is their own shortcoming, and they're not being true to God and the prophet, which actually kind of sounds like the prophet comes before God, so let me reverse that there.
Mm-hmm.
To the prophet and God and blah, 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 blah. But anyways, they are taught that the only way for them to get to heaven is for a man to make them a plural wife. And then if they do that and they're really, really, really good and really, really, really lucky, okay, then when they die and go to heaven, they can keep doing it.
Wee.
I will take the heat, thanks.
No.
I am not.
For me.
I'm a good sharer. I am.
Mm-hmm.
I love to share. But I am sharing
Mm-mm.
when it comes to the man stuff. No.
And I don't want all them kids.
Oh, no.
No, I can barely stand the 2 that I have. I'm just kidding, kind of.
Mostly. I mean, they're still alive.
For me, 2 was a lot. And
well, especially those 2.
yeah.
Whoa, wow. Love them to death, but they were a lot.
The book that she just loaned me was
His favorite one.
yes, his favorite wife, and wasn't there something like 20? How many kids in one house at once?
26, I want to say. But
no!
yeah, she finally got fed up when he married his 10th wife when they were all still living in squalor. That's the other part of polygamy that bothers me. Is I'm pretty sure God didn't mean you should keep taking wives you can't afford to take care of.
And making more babies you can't take care of.
Yeah, so that's...
Oh, and by the way, no birth control.
Yeah, no
wives.
No birth control allowed. If God doesn't want you to have kids, you won't have kids.
Are you crazy?
God made birth control. That's all I got to say. He made the minds that made birth control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the whole polygamy and fundamental thing, and don't question it, just believe it.
Yes.
That's the thing I have the biggest problem with any religion is you just believe it.
Okay, now this FLDS, are they the same ones that are like, I'm not taking my kid to the hospital?
No, actually, that's usually Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
And
I
they'll
can't
take them to
abide
the
that.
hospital, but they won't do certain things that introduce impurities into their body, such as other people's blood and things like that.
Mostly they won't do anything but pray.
Yeah.
You can't pray away
God
leukemia,
made them
people,
folks
but
that went to
just-
medical school to save your kids.
Yeah.
So I got issues with that too.
Yeah.
Because, unless you think God made you a dummy, then there's no reason you should not be trying everything that God provides you to save your child's life.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jehovah's Witness thing is more just the blood thing.
Okay.
Like, they can have surgeries and stuff, just not if they need blood.
Do you know which religion it is where they're like, oh,
We
we're going to
don't
pray
go-
it. We're just going to pray it away.
The FLDS does that to a point. Depends on the prophet and the family.
You know,
and all
like
this.
parents that have been put in jail for manslaughter
Mhm.
of their own children because they refused to take
The
any
Amish,
medical.
A lot of times won't as well. It depends on how strict that Amish
Sect.
thank you,
Yes.
is. But there's several religions that are kind of like, no to the modern medicine bit, but it's mostly the Jehovah's Witnesses that come into negative light, I guess.
Mhm.
And the FLDS does do some of that, more so now with Warren Jeffs, the psycho, who is in prison for having sex with children. Just want to throw that in there.
Mhm.
And is still leading them
From prison.
From prison. Let's listen to that guy.
And they're still following him
Yeah.
from prison.
And they still think he is the voice of God. Not that we're dissing that religion. No, I'm dissing it because that's freaking
I'm just
insanity.
going to call shenanigans on that.
And then you have the Mormons, the door knockers. One of the door knockers, because you got the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons, and they're all about knocking on them doors. Which, just a little tip for you, you ever really want to shake up those young Mormon boys? I found out that if you answer the door with powder under your nose, like some flour under your nose, and like your shirt half
So
off,
bad.
and like a pillow thing in your front making you look pregnant, and holding a bottle of like Jack Daniels or something, they don't want to talk to you no more. Mm-mm. They look a little terrified, actually.
Once you get on a list of people who, like JWs, want to follow up on, especially people in the deaf community, you will have a Jehovah's Witness at your door the same day of the week for months
And months.
on end. No matter how many times you go, nope, me and Jesus are good.
We're chilling.
I'm good. No, we're
Even
good.
if you tell them you're going to go sacrifice kittens to the full moon and your Lord Satan, they don't get it.
No.
They think they can save you.
Come to our next thing. It'll be great. No.
Yeah, no. Oh, and P.S. Also, if you're a chick and you want to get rid of Mormons, invite them in. The guys can't come in. Just saying.
That's a good point.
It is. Because if you're nice to them once, it's a mistake. Which, I mean, I'm not dissing on their beliefs or whatever, even though I don't get them. But really, stalking, it's illegal.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But there's a lot of really good documentaries on cults on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The Prophet's Prey is on there. Lifting the Veil of Polygamy is on there. Or Polygamy Lifting the Veil, I think is what it actually is called. There's several about Jim Jones and the whole Kool-Aid bit, which you should watch. Kind of a couple different ones, because like I was schooling my buddy here today. It's not quite as simple as a bunch of crazy fanatic people happily gulping cyanide-laced Kool-Aid. There's a lot more to it. And it's pretty interesting, which I'm not going to get into all that, except for to say that whole don't drink the Kool-Aid thing, which is one of my favorite sayings when it comes to like the Tea Party and such, and Fox News, that is kind of an inaccurate phrase in a lot of ways, because very few people were actually just like, yeah, we're gonna die because Jim Jones said so, yay! You know, there wasn't a lot of that. There were some that drank the Kool-Aid, so I'm holding on to that whole don't drink the Kool-Aid thing.
The diehards.
The diehard, yeah.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, I saw that. But there weren't a lot of them. The real diehards were the ones that had to be injected while being held down, kicking and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a thing that happened.
So yeah, it happened a lot. So yeah, definitely check out some about Jim Jones and
there's Children of the Sun or Children of the World.
Children of God.
Children of God.
Children of God. Any about the Children of God, those are good.
Mm-hmm.
Sick stuff. Anybody ever tells you it's okay to have sex with children, run the other way. It's not okay.
Ever.
It has never been okay in any book, anywhere, to have sex with little children.
No.
It's just not.
No.
Period.
Age of consent is...
Yeah. There's a reason we have that. Have you ever talked to a 13-year-old? They don't reason well. Okay? Their idea of their rights is a little skewed.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. What's another good one? Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Leah Remini. She is wiping the floor with them fools. Much respect to Leah Remini.
You can tell, too, because they hit back.
Oh, they are not happy with her.
You know that she is making a dent because they hit back.
Mike Roloff?
Mike
Roloff? Whatever.
Reagan.
Mike R.
Okay.
We're pretty sure it starts with an R.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Rinter. Mike.
Yes.
Something like that. Yes, we like him. Anyways, those are really good. Like she said on Hulu, they have that actual series with Leah Remini and Scientology, and that's really good.
There's 2 seasons. It's super good.
I love that show. But I know there's more on Scientology on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally a YouTube documentary junkie, so I have seen a lot of them.
What are some other cults that you...
They have some about the cult of the Jehovah's Witness, the cult of Mormon, which tells you a lot about different religions that I didn't know. Bountiful is another polygamous sect in Canada.
There was that one in Waco.
Yes, they have a lot about the Branch Davidians.
That's it.
Those are out there. Charles Manson, which
I've
seen so many of those that I'm all like, no, thank you. Because there's only so many times I can hear about that crazy man and his crazy eyes, which actually he was not nearly as crazy as he made himself out to be.
No.
Because,
very charismatic.
Yeah, he's very intelligent. He's frighteningly intelligent. And a lot of psycho crazy people are.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I mean he was crazy, obviously, but not kind of out of touch with reality crazy. He knew what he was doing at all times. When he tattooed the swastika, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Neo-Nazis, in my opinion, are a cult.
Yes.
KKK, any of those, because they always, not always, but often base their beliefs in the Bible thing, and they're good God-fearing Christians, which, P.S., Jesus was a Jew. Just saying. And, by the way, they're pretty darn sure they have proof he was kind of brown.
They kind of run on anger.
Yeah, anybody
anger
that
and strife
uses anger and hatred as their
to keep the people
modus
corralled.
operandi.
Yeah, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, run. But there's a lot on there. I watched another one that just says cult witness, and they talked about a cult this young man was in, and I watched another one about I escaped a cult about, I cannot remember what they're called, but it's like a militant one where you are going to be soldiers for Jesus, and you got to wear the uniforms, and you're supposed to beat your children and all that. Oh, hell no. You control your children. If you don't think there's something wrong with somebody telling you you have to beat your children because they said so, you need to...
If they're telling you anything that's like against the best interest of your children
or your family,
that's a problem.
Yeah. So, and that's in any kind of situation, relationships, churches, anything like that. In fact, one of the churches I was exiled from, I guess is a nice way to put it. Yeah, I was kind of shunned. Oh, Amish I consider kind of culty, extreme religion.
Mennonites.
Yeah, kind of borderline. But anyways, the church the one I compared to the Nazis, at one point they informed me that as a Christian, if I did not force my brother, who is an atheist, to believe in God, then I didn't really love him. Yeah. To me, that was trying to drive a wedge between my family and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, my brother, I love my brother. We have our differences and all that, but I love my brother way too much to force him into any kind of belief or whatever in God or what. If he doesn't want to believe in God, that's his choice. And also, I don't know if you've met diehard atheists, you don't force them to believe anything. Any diehard believer of anything, you don't force them to believe something else. Try talking to somebody who believes in Trump. Okay?
Amen, sister.
Right?
The cult of Trump.
But they also, the incident that finally, oh, and they tried to tell me I had to wear a skirt all the time. I don't even own skirts. But then...
You were on board with no makeup, though.
Yes! I was good with no makeup. I don't even own makeup. I'm pretty sure I don't anymore. I think I own lip gloss. Maybe a little mascara, but it's like 10 years old at least, probably.
Mine
so.
is. My eyeliner and my mascara is pretty much all I have.
You know
left
you're
over.
supposed
It's
to
about 10
throw
years.
it away.
I know, but I figure it's only
I know.
my bacteria.
Right? I'm like, if I've got cooties on it, it's mine. So.
Yeah.
What was I
I
saying?
don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe next time I'll put it on and go blind. I don't know.
The issue, I know, right? I was using my mom's for like 15 years after
Oh,
she died.
me too.
I thought Karen was going to have a heart attack.
Anyway.
Anyways, and we're back.
See, squirrel.
What was I saying? Oh.
Something shiny.
the church.
Mm-hmm. With the makeup and the
Pastor
skirts.
Andy, yeah. The final straw for me was when one of the kids,
Don't say any more names.
sorry, didn't mean to slip that up. One of the kids in church had said that during, what is it, youth group or ministry, whatever.
Sunday school. Or
It was a youth thing outside of church.
Mm.
They would get together and do churchy approved things. I'm awesome with this church stuff. Anyways, at youth group or whatever, he had come to the youth pastor guy, youth leader, whatever he was, and said that he had felt compelled to share with him that he'd started to read Harry Potter and he realized it was evil and from the devil, and so he had to confess that he'd read some of it. So they burned the book together. So then they were going to organize future book burnings of Harry Potter. And I almost went into convulsions. Like straight up, my eye was twitching. I was fidgeting in my seat. And they asked me, their fault, in the church thing, if I had something to say. And I sort of did a little bit. I just said it kind of was a little Nazi-esque to encourage book burnings, let alone schedule them, and apparently churches don't like being compared to Nazi idealism. So, but I'm sorry, when you are encouraging children to burn books just because you don't agree with their content, I have issues with that because I am hardcore into literacy and reading and the right for people to read what they want to read, what they're drawn to read. And also, none of these people had actually read Harry Potter. Harry Potter is not evil.
Just a little, sidebar here on that. About the time Harry Potter came out, our family was very much fundamentalist, evangelical Christian, pretty hardcore, and at the time I was taught that reading Harry Potter was like saying witchcraft is okay, and that you're
glorifying.
You can't read it because you're opening yourself up to Satan. And so I will say at that time I would have been like, my kid's not reading Harry Potter. And
adamantly, and she did.
I did. And by the time they were really the right age to read that, I had kind of done some critical thinking, and I was like, okay, listen, I might I am against witchcraft, and you know, I can kind of say that I'm turning a corner here, and that I'm, you know, I'm not going to open myself up to Satan by reading Harry Potter. I'm not opening my kids up to Satan by reading Harry Potter. And I said, you know, kids, you're, you know, this age now, I think Isaiah was 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to read Harry Potter, please do. We'll talk about it, whatever. I didn't actually read it until a year ago. And
Did you feel all called by Satan?
I really didn't. I felt like
Shockingly.
it was a beautiful story
About friendship and good triumphing over evil.
Yes. It
Sorry.
very, very much so, and I really enjoyed it. It started out because I got Micah the 8-film collection on Black Friday in Blu-ray to give to him on Christmas, and we watched the whole thing over Christmas break, all 8 films, and I'd never seen them before. I'd never seen them. I'd never read it, and we watched, and I was like, this is a good story. This is.
'Tis indeed.
So January 1st, I started number 1, and by the end of March, I had read all of them. And I was like, it's crazy, like, what I believed. It's crazy.
And a lot of people, what bothered me about it, I think the most about the whole book burning thing, is that, like I said, these people had never read Harry Potter. They just believed what they were told.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't an educated opinion at all. You know, their one source were people telling them it was evil and that they should not listen to any other source that would tell them otherwise. Mm-hmm. And that's what bothered me is you don't want to read the book, fine, don't read the book, but don't encourage children to burn books that they fear. You know, I mean, that's just, I have issues.
You know, like if you don't dig that book,
don't read the dang book.
Read the book.
Oh, like me? Loathe the book Jude the Obscure. Like literally, I don't know how this book ever ended up on any list of classic literature. It's classic garbage. Horrid. Horrid, horrid, horrid.
Note to self, don't read that.
Oh, gosh. Like, my buddy from school and I, Cleveland, we still tease each other about that book because we both hated it so much. It was the only book while I was in college that I did not read. Out of all, and when you're an English major, you do a lot of reading. That was the only time I SparkNoted it. I went on SparkNotes, got all the information, and I told my instructor the next day, I plopped the pages down in front of her and I said, this is what I'm reading, not the book. She's like, what?
What was your major thing against it?
It was just horrible. It's just horrible. Like halfway through the book, it gets to the point where you literally, there's not one character in the book you like, and then at the halfway part roughly is where the 10-year-old boy murders his siblings and himself so their parents don't have to feed them. And believe it or not, Jude the Obscure, the main dude, his luck really doesn't get any better from there than when his kid kills his other kids. So it's a pretty horrendous story, and I hated every second of it. It was torture. Okay, and we're back.
We're back.
Had a little blip there
I
because
had to get our notes, and then my dogs dumped my wine, and
actually, Jess kind of sort of helped the dogs dump the wine because she was trying to get around them, and they were trying to get around her, and it was just a mess. But anyways, so all good now. Dogs are gonna be drunk. It'll be awesome. Anyways,
they're still looking it up.
we are kind of gonna try to say that's a wrap up on our cult talk for today. We'll probably come back to it because, dude, there is a plethora of cult information out there, and if we find another one that we're like, okay, we got to talk about this today, we'll probably do it. Anyways, like we were saying though, feel free to look up lots of cult documentaries and share in the comments anything you want to add or you maybe want to
Tell us
have
about
us address or
documentaries you might have missed that you gotta hit.
Please.
Yes,
Please.
we're all over that shit. Okay, so we've tonight we talked about cults a lot.
5 books that don't suck.
And what we're watching, what we're reading. Tell us in the comments, what are you watching, what are you reading, what do we need to make sure we don't miss.
And how much shorter should we make the videos? Because we tend to ramble.
We do, but
we can't help it. We're trying to fit in a lot of interesting stuff.
We enjoy each other so much.
We do. This is like a thing.
It's just...
You should hear us when we're not like on camera. We just go and go and go and go.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we don't watch movies together. hardly
we
ever.
talk
Yeah.
through the whole freaking thing and miss it.
It's a terrible thing.
Yeah. So,
But next week we are going to, like we said, discuss addictions. And in the future there will be definitely one discussing Down syndrome. Because, I got some soapboxing to do on that one. And I'm sure we'll talk about Trump.
yeah. I mean, I don't know because I will get real fired up and.
Oh, that's true. You know, he might slip into the conversation when we talk about like KKK and hate groups because he's kind of a hateful guy. Sorry if any of you are getting hurt feelings from that commentary, but suck it up. Sorry.
Don't watch me.
I don't like him.
He's the Cheeto in chief. I don't care.
He's evil, and he openly.
If you voted for him,
says
if you're a woman
horrid
who voted
things.
for him after he's
or
said,
a person of color,
we'll just grab him by the pussy.
or a person of color
I just
who,
lost
you
a
know,
degree of respect for you.
like voted for him after, I don't know, hearing him open his mouth ever. That bothers me a lot.
It deeply disturbs me.
Yeah, because he's openly discriminatory in everything he says.
Awful,
He's
awful.
a racist.
Poor,
he's
sorry excuse for a human being.
He's a elitist, sexist, racist pig. And he's a
He's a
liar.
pig.
He's
That's
a
it.
pathological liar.
And we probably, a whole bunch of you just went, unsubscribe.
Or else,
okay.
actually, they'll probably just say really nasty
You know
things.
what?
Bring it,
Okay.
because we'll just
Unsubscribe.
delete it.
If you unsubscribe, you're not our people, so whatever.
Yeah, and if you are people, because I do got some people that like Trump, I'm sorry, but he sucks, and you need to wake up.
Yeah, he's an awful person. I mean, you might be saying, oh, but he says what he thinks. Yeah,
No,
so does my drunk
you know what?
uncle.
The problem with he says what he thinks is that's not usually what they say. They say he says what we all think, and that is not true. He does
Honey,
not
no.
speak for me.
Mm-mm.
Nothing that man has ever said ever made me go, preach
You're-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Ever.
all, make America great again, while he's dividing our country into us and them.
And yeah,
He's
making
othering
horrible
people.
comments about everybody. And by the way, we're getting soapboxy right now. So
Okay,
see,
so
we're
we're
gonna
gonna back
continue
off.
that in bits and pieces
We will
over
back
time.
off of that.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay,
let that go.
so next
'cause-
week edition, on deck, some myths about Down syndrome.
That's not next week. It's the week after.
Right,
Next
on
week
deck,
is
on deck.
on deck is big time myths
And
about
then,
Down syndrome.
and like
the whole Iceland thing that's going to get thrown in the Down
Yeah.
syndrome discussion too, and people choosing to terminate pregnancies when they find out that they're going to have a child. with
And
Down
in the
syndrome.
practice arena, some deaf people myths.
Yes, and also we might from time to time just do a couple of, you know, on the back of the Chinese little thing you get in your fortune cookie, it tells you here's a Chinese word. We might just randomly teach you some sign
Yeah.
language.
I mean,
Like, I know naughty words. That's what happens when you can interpret for a chick in a bar and she's desperate. She'll teach you naughty words. You remember that when the lady, when I interpreted for that lady? Do you remember that?
Mhm.
And she said, the lady told me, I'll show you these words.
don't show them yet because they gotta.
I won't, no.
We'll
But
do
she
it
said,
later. We'll
I'm
teach
going to
you
show
later.
you these words, but you can't show anybody. And I went, okay. She showed me. I went, thank you. She turned her back. I immediately turned around and started yelling, hey guys, you gotta see this. I don't even think I made it like 2 seconds from when she turned her back and couldn't read my lips anymore.
Yeah,
Because I'm sorry, my going deaf friend has to know how to swear at people.
I do.
It's really important.
It's how I do.
So yeah,
Okay.
anyways, so peace out and all that, and we will.
Hashtag always keep fighting.
That's gonna be my thing. Is peace out.
Hashtag always keep fighting.
I don't have a thing. Yeah. Hashtag always keep. That's her thing. I gotta come up with my own thing.
No, yours peace out good, but maybe you come up with something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of
Whatever.
feel.
You can work on
I
that.
feel like a little like I want to be a gangster and I'm not. Cause I'm wearing the Golden Girls.
I always keep fighting. So
I
I want
always
you to also.
do weird things. So who knows? Mine would lead different every week. I'm sure. 'Cause
And that's
I'm a
okay.
dork. So
All
yes.
right.
Okay.
Okay, folks. Okay, I love you. Bye bye. Hashtag always keep
See you.
fighting.
Love you. Bye.